What up guys, this is Roland Blazay. Today we have an exciting lesson for you guys today. I'm about to show you how to sequence from scratch with no knowledge whatsoever using Logic X Pro. Let's get started guys.
Something that's good for me.
First thing I want you guys to do, go ahead and like and subscribe to this video. Go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe. Guys, if you want to learn Kompa, you want to learn how to sequence, you want to get into that world, you have to support this channel, so go ahead and shoot that like for me. Let's get started. We have a lot to learn today. So if you have Logic Pro, this is the lesson for you. So now I'm using Logic Pro X. I also have Logic Pro on another Mac, but we're going to go ahead and use Logic Pro X. So the first thing I want you guys to know is I have a USB cord from running through my computer into the back of my keyboard, which is the Mod X6. So as you can see on the screen over here, my input device, you see how I click the input device? It's not the built-in. The built-in would just be the keyboard on the computer. So that has to say Mod X6. And the output device could either be your built-in output if you're using headphones, or it could be your interface, as I have mine selected here. But since I'm using headphones, we're going to go ahead and select built-in output, and we're going to apply the changes to that. So guys, if you want to go back to those settings, you could either click here or go to Logic Pro X, Preferences, and Audio. There you see your input MIDI devices here. So now that everything is set up, we don't even have to click anything here. What's the difference between audio and software instrument? Audio is if you want the sounds to come from your keyboard. Software instrument is if you want to use the factory sounds in your computer. Since we're going to be working on drums first, let's go ahead and click software instrument. And I'm going to go ahead and click create. So now, as you can see, everything looks pretty gray. Nothing is selected, no instrument, nothing. First thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and go to instrument here. Now, if you want to start off playing drums, there's a lot of drums in the ultrabeat plugin. But for Kompa, I've made my own drum kit. I've already set up my own drum kit. So you see how you see Kompa 1, Kompa kit demo, Kompa 2. I have Kompa sounds already set up here. So as you can hear the kick. That's a Kompa kick. I have some kale. So I have different sounds with the Kompa. If you want to put a sample in one of these slots, I have a whole video dedicated to this, but I'm gonna just show you this real quick before we get into this video. So you select this. This should be your key of C, the low key of C. If you don't want this kick here anymore, make sure you go ahead and right click, initialize, and click sample. Once you click sample, everything will be erased here, and you double click up here. Make sure sample selected down here, and you double click up here, and you go to load sample, and look for the folder with your samples saved in. So you're gonna have to do some searching for wherever your sample saved in. So now that we got all the technicalities out of the way, let's go ahead and use the Roland Blazay Kompa kit, which is in www.kompakeyboardschool.com. We're gonna go ahead and use the sounds from that Kompa keyboard kit, that Kompa drum kit. So let's go ahead and start, guys. The first thing you wanna do is just use your kick. So let's go ahead and type in kick here. I double click and type in kick. So, what's our tempo going to be? Normally 96, 92 is the average. So let's just go to 94 since that's in between. You hear how you're hearing the click? The only reason you're hearing the click is because I went here. If I turn this off on this double arrow, you won't hear nothing. But if I turn it on, you'll hear something. Make sure when you finish your track, that click is turned off because you will hear it on your track after you bounce it. So make sure it's turned off. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and start. Everything is set up for you guys to start. You have your EQ here if you want to take off, like change the sound a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and use one instrument sound here. We're gonna use the kick. Sounds pretty loud, so let's lower that. You see how it's in red over here? Let's lower it a little bit. Let's lower it up here, guys. So now it's better since I'm not seeing it in the red territory over here. So we're gonna go ahead and record. This 1, 2, 3, 4 is that counts in before it starts recording. Now guys, I'm going to build a course on how to sequence fully, a full course on that, but I just want this introductory video so you guys can really just dive in and start working at it, because the course might take a few months or so, so I want you guys to just dive in. So you go ahead and click record, and what's the rhythm you want for a kompa kick? It's always boom, 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 boom. It just goes with the time. So we're going to record, it's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to go ahead and do that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that's our kick. Now let's listen to it. Now it sounds like it's on time, but you see here where I'm going here? I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to stretch it to zoom in to take a closer look. So it sounds like it landed on the right slots, but if you really take a closer look, these aren't aligned. What did I do? I double clicked here. Or you can also click these scissors up here. That's how you turn on your piano roll. So these look pretty much aligned, but we're gonna, in order to really make sure they're aligned, your kick has to be aligned. Let's take out this. This is an extra note. And we're going to right click, select all functions, and quantize. You see how it just shaped itself? So now when you click it, it's on the right time now. So we have no problems now. So we're not going to spend too much time on the kick. So what I like to do is kind of zoom it back out a little bit so I can see at least 4 bars. So I like to, instead of like doing this, sometimes it doesn't align properly. It doesn't snap properly. So I like to click on the bar and split. I right click and split by playhead. And I delete everything after the first bar. And then if I want this to go further, if I want the kick to just continue, I right click it again, repeat regions, and I just go ahead and do it 100 times. And we're going to do that to a lot of our sounds, guys. So it's a continual kick. Now, if you want to go ahead and start with the other instruments, this is the easy way to do it. I like to just duplicate it here. Just duplicate the same file here. But we're going to name this something else. Let's go ahead and name it cymbal 1. For the cymbal, we're going to have 2 cymbals. One that goes tss, and one after it that goes tss. So it's tss, 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 tss. One that's going to be loud, one that's going to be low. So let's go ahead and try this out. So if you want to go to your cymbal and know where the cymbals is, make sure you go here to instruments, double click the ultrabeat, and if you have it named, you can find it. But we're going to locate it on the keyboard. So we're going to use this. You see how I started late with the cymbal on this first bar here. There's no first cymbal. So I'm just going to slice the middle. We're going to split by playhead, and I'm going to slice the middle since that has the full cymbal sounds there. We're just going to split. We're going to split that. And I'm going to delete everything around it. And let's go ahead and move it So now we're gonna do the same thing where we go over here and right click, select all, and quantize the notes. And then we're gonna right click again, repeat, and do it 100 times again. So listen to this now. Now we're gonna put our cymbal 2. We're gonna put the cymbal 2 there. So we're gonna go ahead and duplicate this file and name it cymbal 2. So that one has to be like a light tap of a cymbal. This is a light tap. So we can lower that. And then we're gonna record. That's all you need. So if you listen to that, this is how it sounds. So that has to complement the other cymbal. So that's my way of doing that cymbal cale. Remember, you guys, you right click, select all at the piano roll, and you quantize your notes. And now listen. So if it sounds crazy, make sure you lower that cymbal as almost as low as you can. Now it sounds a little bit more clean. So we're gonna go ahead and repeat this, let's say 100 times also. So we're not gonna do too much with the cymbal. I know the cymbal you can add some rides like clack, clack. We can do the breaks on the next lesson. This lesson we're gonna just kind of just run through this real quick so you guys can understand the basics of sequencing. So we got the cymbal cale, we have the kick. The only thing we're missing now is the bande. So we're gonna go ahead and add some cowbells and stuff like that. So what you want to do is duplicate it again. Click up here, and we're gonna click cowbell. So let me see if I have cowbells on this one. I think I have it saved on my Kompa 2. So I'm gonna go over here to ultrabeat and go to Kompa 2. I had mapped it on a separate thing here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. But make sure you fix your volume. So we're gonna go ahead and double click this and select all and quantize just like we did for all the other sounds. And let's listen to the whole thing again. So it sounds like the cowbell is light, but the floor tom is heavy. So we're gonna go to our EQ and make sure we kind of adjust that. So let's go back and play it. Now it sounds a little better. We're taking out some lows. We're taking out some lows. So I fixed that loudness from the floor tom. And now let's lower it. So it sounds a little bit more balanced now. So now we don't have to repeat this 100 times since it's like 4 times the others as far as the size. So we're going to go ahead and quantize that. Select all, quantize. And 4 times, so we only have to repeat that 25 times. Bam, so. I don't like how there's no thing there. You see how I didn't have that extra thing there? So what we're gonna do is, if you want to like correct something you did wrong, go to edit and undo. You see how everything is just one track now. So we don't need all that. Let's listen to it again. So that's all we need. We don't need all of it. So we're gonna split this. Because since this has all the floor tom. So let's go ahead and repeat that 50 times. Now it sounds good. So now we just need our thumbu. So let's go ahead and repeat that and type congas. So now we're gonna play with the congas a little bit. And that's all we need. Split that there. We're gonna split it so it could be one bar. Now, and then we're gonna go ahead and quantize it. We're gonna right click down here, select all, and quantize it. So, and let's repeat that about 100 times. Stop. So that could have been better. All these things could be better, but we're just gonna do it simple so you guys can get the basics. Okay, so now we're ready to just throw some melodic instruments into it. So right now, we're gonna go ahead and add a new software instrument. We're not gonna duplicate drum stuff anymore. So what I like to do, you can go here, but I like to go here. You see how this, if I turn it off, I can turn this back on if you can't find it. So I go to Legacy. We're gonna use their bass. We're gonna use GarageBand's bass. Let me hear how it's. And I like to move the octave down on my keyboard. So for the bass, I like to go here and like remove some of the highs here. So. Okay, so we have our bass here, kind of level it out. So let's hear the groove again. So now all that matters is what key you want the groove to be in, what type of groove do you want, what kind of chord progression. That's the main thing. Let's go ahead and add a quick groove real quick. So let's see. So we can just restart it right here. We can go ahead and right click and delete that. So now we can go ahead and copy that. Let's see how many times. It's 4 bars, so we can copy it 25 times. So let's go back. Sounds like our cymbal can be lowered. The cowbell can be lowered too. So everything sounds good. And right now, let's just go ahead and save our project. So I go to save as. We're gonna go ahead and save it as YouTube sequence. Just in case, sometimes Logic overloads and just shuts down on you. So now we can just add our grooves. So let's create another software instrument. Up here, this plus sign, and we're gonna add. Sometime I like to add arpeggiators. Arpeggiators is, I can show you guys. It just kind of gives you a loop, depending on the chord you play. So if I play this digi wave and I press a chord here, that's an arpeggio. It has its own groove, depending on which chord you hold. So let's listen to it. So that's a good way to cheat if you don't want to like think about like a progression or chord. So we're just going to use an arpeggio for our first thing here. So you see how I messed up? I started on the 1, but it starts on the 5. So I can go ahead and edit and undo and rewind and go to record again. And now I'm going to start on the 5. Okay, so we can take off this. We can like start it again at the 8. So now let's split that and delete. So now we can double click, we go down here to our piano roll and select all, functions and quantize. So now let's listen to it. So we can lower this. ahead and copy this like. So we can go ahead and copy this. Let's see. I did it too long. Usually I would stop here. So we don't even need to do 25 times. We can just repeat it like 12 times. And if you want to zoom out to see where it ends, you can go up here and you'll see where it ends. And then you can zoom back in and try to slide it back over. So that's pretty much how you sequence. And one last tip I want to give you guys, if you want to use sounds from your keyboard, this is what you need to do. This is very important. You go here to new track, you go to audio. You see how it says mod X as the input? That's all that really matters. So we're going to go to create. Now, if you press play, and let's try to groove with it. Let's try to groove with it and press play with our mod X. You see how you're not hearing nothing, and I'm playing the mod X. This is what you need to do. Make sure you hit this initialize button here, and make sure the record is like orange in the middle and not just red. You see how you can hear it now? So let's play, and now you can hear it. So now we're gonna do one more groove. So this is how you record using your mod X. So let's try to do this, guys. Well, I started a little late, so let's start on the third bar. So guys, as you can tell, this is not aligned properly. So how do you quantize a wave file? We're going to use that third bar, but let's quantize it first. We're going to go up here to flex. This is our flex tool here. We're going to click that. We're going to make sure it's on polyphonic. And we're going to go ahead and go up here to regions and make sure we quantize it. Let's hear how it is on 1/32 of a note. It sounds a little off towards the end. So we can fix that. Let's go. So this would have to kind of be dragged a little bit. And let's hear it again now. No. So let's move that another bar here and move that a little further actually. Okay, let's listen to it now. Okay. Let's move that a bar further. Okay. I didn't like how that ended. Go ahead and chop it at the 5 here. We're gonna split by playhead. And we're going to chop it at the 3 here. And we're going to do the same thing, split by playhead right here. So, bam. So let's go ahead and try to. So we dragged it over here. Now let's listen to it. And let's copy it 100 times. As you can tell, it's off, and if it sounds off after you quantize, make sure you go back to your quantize region. Let's go back to flex mode here. No, let me see. You see how good that sounds, guys? We use flex mode to quantize our wave files. So let's duplicate the audio. Let's duplicate it. So if you want to solo over it, you can go ahead and mute the guitar. Hey guys, this is Roland Blazay. One thing I want to tell you that Kompa, you will learn Kompa, you will know how to play. And we've just released the official beginner's Kompa course. In the Kompa course, you will learn the key, how to find the key, what is the key, scales, chords, Kompa chord progressions, the number system. You will learn minor chord progressions, Kompa rhythm. In this Kompa course, how to choque, simple solo tips, you will know how to start your journey off playing Kompa. For $19.99, this Kompa course has just been released. Go to kompakeyboardschool.com. It will be the first link on the top of the page, and you will begin to know how to play Kompa in no time. Most of the key elements to Kompa keyboard playing is in this course. So guys, do not wait, do not hesitate. Get your Kompa course now and start playing Kompa right where you're at.
Something that's good for me.